commercial on TV. I go, it should have me on the commercial because I eat candy and ice cream all day.
New is made for the real world.
I'm a third generation candy maker.
It's so sustainable, and I don't have to deprive myself. It corrected all of the bad habits that I've fallen into.
From both physical and mental standpoint, it's just healthier. I taste candy every day for a living, and if I can lose weight on it, so can you. Visit new.com and change your life for good.
Moms and we all want ours to be healthy. Explore your DNA together and use those insights to inspire healthier actions, because healthier is better together. So buy one Health Plus Ancestry Kit for $149 and get a second for just $99.
You can pick from hundreds of law firms in New York or New Jersey for your mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer case. But would you be confident that you made the best choice? Whites and Luxembourg is the firm that has represented more asbestos disease clients than any other firm in the metropolitan area. With 30 years experience, they have New York's highest asbestos verdicts of all time. The choice is clear. The stakes cannot be higher.
Whites and Luxembourg has our backs.
Go with the firm that understands your injury, your job, and the courts. Call Whites and Luxembourg today.
Call Whites and Luxembourg, the firm that has won 6 of the top 13 audit liability verdicts in New York over the last decade. They have represented thousands of your fellow workers in the tri-state area for over 30 years. They will guide you through every step of the litigation and settlement process. This may be the most important financial decision you will ever have to make.
Call 1-888-411-LAWS. That's 1-888-411-LAWS.
Sulawesi, Indonesia, 1998. Here, in along the ocean floor, researchers discover a new and unusual creature, the mimic octopus. This highly intelligent cephalopod is capable of not only instantly changing its color and skin texture, but it can also transform its body to take on the form of many other creatures.
The mimic octopus is remarkable. It's been known to mimic flounder, which are like flatfish, live on the bottom of the ocean. Sea snakes, the striped and also lionfish, which have all these like feathery appendages. It's been documented to essentially impersonate at least 15 different marine species.
With 3 hearts, 9 brains, and roughly double the number of genes of a human, some scientists have speculated that the octopus may well be from another planet.
In 2018, a group of 33 scientists proclaimed in a peer-reviewed paper that the octopus actually has alien DNA. It might have originated elsewhere. Now, when we think about that, we have to think, well, what might extraterrestrials actually be like? Could they be like the octopus? Could they, in fact, be shapeshifters? We automatically assume that extraterrestrials might be humanoid, that they might look like us. But the fact of the matter is that they could, in fact, be shapeshifters, able to change their form into anything they want to be.
If the octopus is not indigenous to Earth, could that point to the possibility that intelligent alien beings have also arrived here that have the biological ability to shapeshift?
The evolution of things like crypsis, so the ability to camouflage oneself on Earth, we know the selective pressure for that is primarily sort of predator-prey relationships. Crypsis is basically a trait to escape detection by a predator if you're an animal that gets eaten, or to escape detection by your prey if you happen to be a predator. I think selective pressure can certainly drive the evolution of crypsis on other planets as well.
Given shape-shifting has a clear evolutionary benefit, it's certainly possible that this capability evolved not just here on Earth, but elsewhere in the
after displaying increasingly bizarre behavior. She speaks in gibberish and complains of being plagued by disturbing visions and strange forces. Her family claims she's possessed by supernatural beings known as the Jinn.
Jinn is an Arabic term that means to hide, to conceal. The Quran says that they are created of fire without smoke. Smokeless fire. It talks about the jinn being able to take animal form. It talks about the jinn being able to take the form of natural phenomena, wind, for example. And so you will have people, to this day, in Muslim world, who will say that this person is possessed by jinn, that they're not physically ill, they're not mentally ill.
The jinn were allegedly created before humankind by God. They can take any shape to beguile you and to tempt you, because part of their role is to test humanity.
Encounters with the Jinn are reported frequently in certain parts of the world, and millions of people continue to believe in their existence. Similar shape-shifting beings can also be found in other ancient traditions, and are so common that modern mythologists have grouped them into a category called trickster gods.
The trickster is the god of transitions, of change. They're not always fun to encounter because they pull the rug out from under us. They're in charge of mischief and mayhem. In the Norse tradition, we have the trickster character known as Loki. Loki is a shapeshifter. In some stories, it's a salmon, sometimes a fly.
According to the mythology, Danovas are demons. So they have special power to change shape, to delude others, to confuse others, to appear in any form they wish. We find this in the Celtic fairy lore as well, where the fairies are able to shapeshift. But in their deepest and darkest sense, they're seeking to extract something from humanity.
Some of these encounters that we hear about with shape-shifting beings may be extraterrestrials. There's also this belief, several graves. There's one incident where a large owl was seen was 3 foot high, and the witness just could not add up, and then suddenly it just changed back into a gray. Very strange.
Deception runs through this whole phenomenon. The idea that the extraterrestrials are deceiving, seducing, tricking people. We see it in mythology. We see it in close encounters.
Is it possible that
ask a specialist about Tbilisi.
Sighișoara, Romania. This picturesque Transylvanian town is the birthplace of Vlad Tepes, otherwise known as Vlad the Impaler or Vlad Dracula. This infamous Romanian prince was known to drink the blood of his enemies and inspired the title of Bram Stoker's 1897 vampire novel, Dracula. In 2014, a tourist visiting a local church came across a painting so strange that she sent a photo of it to the Israeli Extraterrestrials and UFOs Research Organization.
In the hometown of Vlad the Impaler, upon whom the story of Dracula the vampire is based, we find the Church of the Dominican Monastery. And in this church is a 700-year-old painting that clearly portrays what most would identify as a circular craft, a UFO, hovering over a building that is thought to be the church.
Now, this very strange jelly-mold shaped saucer hovering over the ancestral home of the great figure that really is giving rise to the idea of Dracula the vampire. Now, is there a link here somewhere with this vampire legend and extraterrestrials?
Is it possible that a 700-year-old painting in a church in Transylvania provides a connection between vampires and aliens? Could it be that the stories of these shape-shifting entities that are said to transform into bats, wolves, and other creatures are based on real encounters? While Bram Stoker's Dracula is a work of fiction, it is inspired by historical events.
In the classic vampire story from Bram Stoker's Dracula of the late 19th century, he did do some research into the Romanian traditions. As I say, they're very complicated and they tend to differ village from village even. So, were there ever such things, paranormally speaking, as vampires? For a time, 15th, 16th, 17th, into the 18th century, in certain parts of the world, vampires did exist.
Gliwice, Poland. 2013. During the construction of a roadway just outside this small town, a shocking discovery is made. Workers unearth a burial ground that provides a crucial window into the past. It contains 4 skeletons, all decapitated.
Recently in Poland, some graves were found that had unusual characteristics. The remains had the heads removed and placed on the legs. This was evidence of a ritual execution. Some theorists think these might have been suspected vampires.
Archaeologists estimate these burials date back to the 16th century, and according to the traditions that existed in Poland at that time, keeping the head separated from the body would prevent the undead from coming back to life. Similar vampire graves have been found throughout Europe. Some even containing bodies with stakes driven through the hearts.
When we think about vampires, we think of Bram Stoker's Dracula, or indeed Hollywood portrayals of vampires. But for the peoples of Europe, particularly in Eastern Europe, the idea of vampires was a very frightening and very real supernatural phenomena, which was something that they had to guard themselves against, because the vampires were shapeshifters. And the most frightening thing about these was that they had to sustain their existence by drinking the blood of animals or human beings.
While the modern concept of the vampire was informed by European folklore, similar shape-shifting beings with a thirst for blood have been reported throughout the ancient world, like the Rakshasas described in the Sanskrit texts of India.
In the scriptures, Rakshasas have special power to change shape. Rakshasa is a flesh-eating demon. That Rakshasa loves to eat flesh.
All across the globe we have mythology that represents some kind of vampiric type entities. There's the Egyptian in Sumerian texts, there's the Shang-Chi in China, all these classes of entities that seem to be
vampire experiences. We break them down into there is the sighting, then there is the trapping of one's own mind and the luring of the person into the vampire. But alien abductions are exactly the same way. Abductees report they are transfixed by a light. A figure approaches them, the figure engages with them, and the figure takes them away. Central to alien abductions is the idea of some sort of medical procedure. Some people say that DNA is taken, but in other cases, blood seems to have been removed. Very often, the person is immobilized in these abduction reports, and yet, when you look at the Vedic texts, the Chinese legends, the European legends, one can draw these links between vampires and UFOs and abductions.
We have a very strong connection between vampires and extraterrestrials. But is it possible that extraterrestrials somehow need our blood?
These stories of vampires have been inspired by extraterrestrial encounters, as ancient astronaut theorists suggest. One theory that blood plays an essential role in the ability to shapeshift. Perhaps further clues can be found by examining humanity's own efforts to transform life on Earth through the manipulation of DNA.
Right now is a great time to buy a new home. So what can give you a competitive edge? Rocket can. A verified approval from Rocket Mortgage helps your offer stand out. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers greater confidence in you and your offer. So when you need the speed, ease, and confidence to buy the home that's right for you, Rocket can. Visit RocketMortgage.com or call us today.
Oh, I just drive over paying on a used car?
Million. It's expensive. You don't see me. You're not seeing the most accurate price. You won't have to overpay on a used car again. Shop millions of great deals at the all-new Carfax.com.
Imagine you love frosting and filling.
I do love frosting and filling.
Well, imagine if there was a way to enjoy that delicious goodness anywhere, anytime. Nothing but a thin layer of foil between you and pasta. Yes, Curtis. This is a commercial about pasta.
I like pesto. Sure about this.
Experience capability. Crafted by Lexus. The remarkable GX and LX.
I get 0.9% APR financing on the 2021 GX 460.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
One for me. And one for me. Introducing buy one, get one for just $1 Burger King. Grab a flamethrower Whopper or Impossible Whopper. Mix or match it with your favorites for an extra buck. Go ahead. You deserve it. Buy one, get one for $1. Your way. Way better.
Want to try some of my Mountain Dew Zero Sugar? It is tasty. Just as good as the original Mountain Sugar. You gotta be careful.
Here's to the very first influencer in your life. Mom. This is how Mom shines. With 30% off everything at Zales, the diamond store.
That's a low price.
fate of a horrific shapeshifter? No. It's the Flixton werewolf.
A number of very odd experiences have been occurring there over the last 50 years or so. These include the appearance of a strange biped with either a canine or wolf-like head. In other words, half wolf, half human. And in addition to this, there have been many strange sightings of mysterious life forms and structured craft, UFOs, in the same vicinity.
We have UFO activity and what would be werewolf activity in Europe, particularly in Yorkshire. And so we have to wonder, is there some connection between UFO activity and these shapeshifters? It would seem so.
In 2016, nearly a dozen sightings of a Flixton werewolf were reported in the nearby town of Hull, just 50 miles south of Stargard. Witnesses claim to have seen the creature feasting on the blood and flesh of local dogs, leaving residents gripped by terror.
For the peoples of Europe in the past, this was a very real threat. It was believed that there were certain individuals who could transform themselves, shapeshift into a particular animal, most obviously a wolf. And whilst these individuals were in the form of a werewolf, it was believed that to sustain their existence, they had to have blood and life force, either animals or human beings.
Among the many stories of shapeshifting beings, from vampires to werewolves, and even modern alien abduction accounts, a recurring theme is the need for blood. And as far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, it's very possible that these beings need something to do within the blood in order to shapeshift.
Now, could it be in some way this shape-shifting ability can be harnessed by blending of the genes of a species? You just morph into whatever you need to look like instantaneously.
The priority is genetic harvesting because they can mix and match genes at a sophisticated level and can make any body container that they want. And then they can use it as camouflage. And so one of our greatest questions is who walks around on our planet, looks human, but is not?
If there really are alien shapeshifters here on Earth, might they require DNA in order to mimic a human or animal form? Over the past 30 years, advances in gene splicing technology have allowed humanity to begin experimenting with cloning and transforming earthly creatures. In 2019, researchers in China announced they had created the first hybrid embryos that are part human and part monkey. Similar experiments have been done around the world, crossing human DNA with pigs, sheep, and soon, mice and rats.
We are seeing modern technology able to create these kinds of cross species. So what geneticists are able to do is actually clip pieces of a DNA strand, insert a new strand in to complete the sequence, and then put that back into a cell. When it's able to grow and become an embryo and then grow into a full being, it has this different DNA sequence in it.
But when you think about what we already know about gene editing, first of all, you know the technology is possible. So it is certainly well within the realm of possibility that an advanced civilization, an alien civilization, would have skills in gene editing far surpassing what we have now, and can really do things that are actually unimaginable and outside the scope of what we're thinking.
Could it be that the genetic modification that scientists are now able to achieve in a laboratory were perfected thousands of years ago by extraterrestrials? For ancient astronaut theorists, this possibility raises another intriguing question. Could they similarly alter the DNA of humans?
With the Dish Anywhere app, you can watch what you want, where you want, at no extra charge. Kids, bedtime. download up to 5 devices at no extra charge. Dish. Tune in to you. Bring on three. Calculators that completely fund this store that rings your doorbell anytime. This is doing like never before. This is today's long-term consumers get more done. Domino's is testing driverless delivery powered by Neuro, and it's got someone back to their old habits. Always annoyed when you get any 2 or 4 medium 2-topping Domino's pizzas delivered for just $5.99 each. What is perfect? Families all together.
Let me switch to Geico, save money on boat insurance.
How can it get any better than this?
Dad, I saw a goldfish.
There's no goldfish in this lake. It's pure gold. Want to be rich? Want to be rich? You know, it gets better when you switch and save with Geico. Trying to save beef is bad for the planet. But do we really care what those nerds have to say? Yes, we do. Impossible meat made from plants. Things never toured with Redfin. Until now. Take your time and a local Redfin agent will help you find it. On the base, all doors for Redfin. Los Angeles is a moment. It's a music. It's a comedy. It's a romance.
It's a sci-fi movie.
It's an action. It's a comeback story. It's a comeback story. It's a comeback story. It's a comeback story.
It's a comeback story.
It's a comeback story.
Oh, it's your comeback story.
Your results are in. You're positive for COVID-19.
Before you order 2 weeks of groceries, before you settle into quarantine, before you do anything, call your doctor about monoclonal antibodies. If you just tested positive for COVID-19 and are high risk for severe disease, monoclonal antibody treatments can help keep you out of the hospital. But time matters. COVID-19 can get worse fast. Call your doctor now and see if monoclonal antibodies are right for you.
The southwest region of France is home to some of the earliest examples of prehistoric art ever discovered. The caves of Lascaux, Millau, and Pechmel all contain rock paintings that date back more than 15,000 years. But among the ancient cave art, one image stands apart. Tucked inside the Trois Frères cave is the depiction of a mysterious figure known simply as the Sorcerer.
In the south of France, a cave was discovered with an image believed to be something like 15,000 years old. This might be the very earliest image we have of a deity. It's a stag, but it's human in size, so it seems to depict a shamanic ritual leader channeling animal powers.
It has the body of a deer. It has the eyes of an owl. It has the tail, possibly, of a horse. But it's quite clearly standing on human legs and has human-like arms. And although it's been interpreted perhaps as the first god, more likely is that it represents a shaman who has transformed into one or more animals to move through the supernatural realms that the shaman is thought to have taken.
While there is no written record to definitively identify cave art from 15,000 years ago, in the American Southwest, the notion of shamans transforming themselves into shapeshifters is still prevalent today. Skinwalker Ranch, in Utah Basin, Utah. This 500-acre expanse has been plagued by reports of strange phenomena for decades. Phenomena that include both UFO sightings and accounts of a shape-shifting monster. Any paranormal activity that you can imagine has happened, allegedly, at the Skinwalker Ranch. You've seen UFOs, they've seen different creatures, both the local Navajo and new populations. The shapeshifter for which Skinwalker Ranch is named has inhabited the area for centuries. But the story behind this creature is different from that of other shapeshifters. According to the Navajo, the Skinwalker is a human who has attained the ability to transform his body.
A skinwalker is the name that is given to a Navajo shaman or witch when they are in a supernatural form. Very often a skinwalker will be a wolf, but it can be other animals as well.
The native tradition concerning skinwalkers is that these are actual people that have gained a certain type of power. They were given certain abilities, shape-changing and magic.
When it comes to how the Skinwalker is able to change shape, the Navajo have a similar notion to that of ancient astronaut theorists. They believe it is connected to DNA.
Our view on it is that they're manipulating the DNA of their own body. They do change shape, and it's usually an animal that it has a skin for, and they'll use the skin, and with a combination of chance, you actually turn into that animal. And interestingly enough, in Navajo tradition, you're taught early on as a child, you don't leave your fingernail clippings, you don't spit on the ground and not cover it up. All of this has to do with the transmission of DNA.
If extraterrestrials are harvesting DNA in order to shape it, as some ancient astronaut theorists suggest, is it possible that they could also bestow humans with this same ability? And might the Skinwalker be evidence of alien intervention? While it may sound far-fetched, former Navajo police officer John Vendover is certain that the being called the Skinwalker is real.
I spent 31 years in law enforcement. We've had many, many instances where people have seen them chasing their vehicles as they and having a hidden figure running.
Okay. scientist, okay?